Hi friends! If you've come here from Wool and Pine's newsletter or from Ravelry, welcome. This is a very quick series of rough, informal clips I filmed before I shipped the Hearthside cardigan sample off to Abby for photography. Many of you asked exactly how I flowed color through the brioche, so I'm sharing my behind-the-scenes notes and method here. It's not fancy, but I hope it helps you recreate the magic in your own Hearthside. Let's jump in. To share a few approaches that I took when I knit this cardigan. To start, the shoulder garter section is done one side and then the other, and I wanted this to look symmetrical on both shoulders. And so what I did was, as I knit each section, I actually took pictures of what 4 skeins I started with, and then every time I changed a color I just took another picture, and then I referred back to that when I came to the other side and did that, so that I have basically a mirror image of the shoulder. And then from there I try to let the colors flow from front and back, and I didn't do an exact copy of front to back, but I tried to stay the same so that visually the body just kind of flows. It was really helpful to do the back first, and then I used that as my template to do the front. So the front fairly looks like the back. And I did start out with just doing a slow melt of all the warm colors on the foreground, and in the background, that's where I played with a lot of the colors. And so you'll see more distinct color changes on the inside. And that was a nice way to see how the colors played together, and that helped me figure out how I wanted to work the rest of this. When I did the sleeves, I actually worked them pretty much at the same time. I would do a section of one arm and then go and do the other section because I wanted those to be symmetrical. And what I used as my basis to match with the rest of the cardigan was I just did a mirror image of the row directly below it, so that if you actually pulled and lined this up, this arm actually matches here, but it shifts up, and so it kind of looks like the rest of the cardigan and add some symmetry. And when you look at the sleeves together, so I would go in sections and work that, and so that helped balance this cardigan. My approach to the garter for the hem and for the cuffs was to do this melty fade and then let those pops of bright colors, bright and dark, line the cuffs and line the hem. The hem I decided to make the dark area a bit thicker just to help balance visually with the other dark sections that I had. And then finally, for this collar, I did an all over fade. To do this fade, I took all the skeins that I had left and I organized them on the monochrome scale. So took a picture of them, turned it black and white, and looked to see what were the brights, mediums, darks, and then just did a slow melty fade of that for the collar. Here's the collar. I really wanted to do a fade of all the colors that I used throughout this to tie the whole cardigan together, and I designed it in such a way that I went from all the light contrast yarn into medium and then into dark, and when I got to medium, that's where I paused and then just kept that medium for the shawl part of the collar, so that when you fold it, you still keep this balance of... The Cozy Cottage cardigan has absolutely been my most favorite Wool and Pine Designs knit. It was so fun to get creative with the colors. The colors that Abby and Selena picked are absolutely beautiful and really just made this such a joy to knit with. When I was given the palette, my initial idea was to have a general light to dark fade, and to do that in different ways throughout the pattern. And that plan kind of changed as I went, but I basically just let the color speak to me and mix them as I felt worked to help everything sort of flow and be colorful. I really loved using the bright pink and this absolutely gorgeous jewel tone blue and green as little ways to sort of draw the eye throughout the cardigan in various places. I hope my notes have been helpful. Please ask any questions in the comments. Happy to help you on your Hearthside journey.